I hated my Roblox girl voice, and here's why. I want to clarify that this immediately is not about hating being a girl in general. This is about hearing yourself for the first time and realizing that you do not sound like the version of yourself that you imagine. For me, Roblox, right? You can change your avatar, you can change your clothes, and you can even change your name and nickname or whatever it is, but you cannot reskin your natural voice.
You can use a voice changer, but that isn't why you name me.
Because on Roblox, your voice is not just sound to a lot of people. A voice can give off a lot from a person, whether it's age, gender, confidence, class, and personality, right? If you use a voice changer, people will know you're using a voice changer. That's not real and that's inauthentic. If it's your real voice, you can tell by hearing my voice now that I'm a young woman and I'm an adult. Voice chat was in the archaic ages of inner peace namaste, and I ended up ashamed of how I sounded just naturally.
You sound like a child.
But I learned that confidence doesn't come from pitch, and it comes from more of you controlling your own voice and learning how to harness what God has given you, essentially. Before Roblox voice chat, Roblox was fully text-based for a lot of people. So in a way, you had total control on how people perceived you, how mature you sounded, and how confident you came across. Because the way you type isn't necessarily the way you speak, even though it can be and vice versa. And mostly, my avatar did the talking for me, you know what I mean? You talk as an avatar, you type, and that's like one thing, but you can't really determine much by the way someone types because you can change your typing style a lot easier than you can change your voice sound. See, I didn't worry about sounding young, sounding monotone, or sounding wrong because I've always been a very good writer, but silence in a way felt like protection. When Roblox announced voice chat, most people panicked about harassment or, kids were gonna be using their avatars or whatever to roleplay as adults and get in adult spaces. But no, I was really fixated on the technology because in specific, Roblox was introducing a feature where your mouth would move, your eyes would move, and you'd have facial syncing. And I thought, whoa. Will people hate me? Will they bully me? Am I not going to be enough? Emotionally, I felt insecure about myself. I felt shaky, and I felt hyper aware of every syllable I was making. See, I watched that footage back, and I played that stream that night later, and I'm like, ew, why do I sound like this? Hey! Why does my Roblox girl voice sound like a literal child? Like I sound like I'm walking out into a Boston Pizza and being like, can I have a kid's meal, please? Thinking feeling in me, like, why do I sound like, that? As a kid, I didn't just want any voice. I wanted a powerful male or feminine voice. But the number one inspiration for my voice when I was a kid was Zatanna from Injustice 2. Zatanna mattered because she was feminine, but she wasn't like a squeaker like a lot of people think. She had the coolest voice ever, and to me, that was super awesome, and that's what I wanted, yo! And I feel like I subconsciously expected my voice to become that sort of Zatanna, oh my gosh, look, I'm a cool, smart, powerful lady who can, kick butt and has magic powers at this point. And I've realized that my voice never changed. As an adult, my voice didn't happen. I really wanted that sort of voice for me. And it didn't really mature in a sense. See, my voice didn't deepen, and it definitely didn't mature as I grew older on Roblox. I would definitely say it doesn't, because I have always had the same voice, whether I was a child or grew up on Roblox. My voice didn't mature, it didn't shift at all, it just kind of stayed the same. Like, if I look back on childhood videos of me playing Roblox and talking to my twin sister while playing Roblox, it definitely didn't shift. And if I compare these homemade Roblox videos now to teen, childhood, or adult clips, I realize that I basically sound the same throughout all of them in pitch, but it feels like being stuck in your own voice, like your body grew up but your voice didn't catch up. And maybe I felt this was the wrong reaction in a way. I felt excited that my pitch went up, and I sounded younger when I sounded passionate about things, which a lot of times made me feel like, oh, I'm sounding like a kid, and I was very immature about if I was recognized as sounding like a kid when I would join, more of mature games, because they'd be like, oh, you're just a dumb kid. I got a lot of comments on Roblox from people that I sounded like a boy and sounded like a kid, or even one I got was that I sounded like one of the kids from the Goonies. but I wasn't trying to sound young masculine, and there was nothing I could actively change about that. And I really internalized that if I can't control this, I will never be taken seriously as a girl or on Roblox when I try to talk to people and play games with people. But I think a lot of the time I pushed a standard on myself that other people didn't, and I realized that was completely wrong. That in some ways, culture pushes quietly that, girl YouTubers should sound peppy, energetic, slightly high pitched, and that YouTuber voice, which I had that YouTuber voice when I was younger because I recorded so much videos, but I didn't have the YouTuber voice I wanted. My voice at the time sounded naturally monotone, calm, and flat, so every sentence I would make would sound like I was depressed as all hell. People thought I was depressed or bored or uninterested, but in reality, I figured out something that a lot of people won't say is the harsh reality. You have to train your voice to sound normal. If you use a voice changer or something like that, it will feel forced and it will feel fake and not you. And it's important that you be you in a day when so many people feel not authentic. So I would read a lot of books when I was a kid other than Dork Diaries. And I would read all kinds of books. I read Catcher in the Rye. I would read historical books. And I'm very grateful to my family for letting me read, because reading put me into new universes where I could see how these characters talked. But I think I wasn't broken, I was just untrained, and that's okay. You have to understand, we are not going to sound like these aura farming voice actors, and that's fine. See, people didn't take me seriously because I didn't take myself seriously, which is my biggest problem. Confidence is not about gender or your accent, it's about control, flow, and the way you present yourself and intent. See, I may never change my pitch, my accent, or my baseline tone, but I definitely can control how I use it, how I frame it, how I own it, even if I sound young. See, I don't hate my Roblox girl voice anymore, and I feel like I just hated learning myself before I learned how to use it.